What's going on? Welcome to Unlocking Your Inner Strength. In these episodes, I share with you insights and inspirations that have come to me on my path in life, and hopefully they can be a welcome hand of guidance as you move along your journey. I teach because I'm passionate about my message. I teach because it helps me to learn more deeply. Thanks for sharing a few minutes of your time with me for this week's episode, and without further ado, here is this week's show. What's up, everybody? Using my mic, so I'm recording the podcast from my truck. If you cannot hear me, just please comment that, and I will unplug the mic. I want to make sure this is working on Facebook Live. Now, let me start with a quick story. I had to get a calcium score for my heart this morning. Nothing wrong with me. I decided once I turned 40, there was a couple of exams I wanted to get done, and the fabulous Dr. Andres Pinoza has been working with me, so I'll be meeting with him Thursday. But anyway, when I'm in the machine this morning, you know, the CAT scan machine for my heart, the girl comes back in and she goes, so she got me hooked up with electrodes. It wasn't a long exam. She says, so how often do you work out? I'm like, all right. I guess I look like I'm in shape. I mean, you know, because I pretty much have my shirt off. I say, like 3 times a week. And she goes, well, the reason I ask, she goes, you have the record for the lowest heart rate we've had on here. She goes, we've had competitive cyclists, we've had blah, blah, blah. I go, yeah, what was it? She goes, 46 beats a minute. And that's a real good thing, guys. When your heart rate is lower at resting, it's much more efficient with each pump that it puts out blood to the body and returning blood to the heart. So that's a really good thing. So that was a cool little thing. And again, if you're tuning in and you cannot hear me, please just comment. If you can hear me, just give me a thumbs up. I'm using a new mic on this and recording from the truck. Which brings up another story I would like to bring up. This reminds me of recording a podcast from the truck when I was first starting out release. You're talking about 2007, right? 2007, the next year, 2008. I was so busy with my schedule. Thanks, Sandy. I was so busy with my schedule that, you know, I'd be training people at 5:30 in the morning, maybe get a quick 20-minute thing in myself. I'd go right to school to teach, and then I would go right back to train people till 9 at night. So time was very limited. All my lunch breaks, all my preps were dedicated to writing articles and creating as much as I could, reaching out to clients, you know, just really trying to build the business while having a full-time teaching job with no help at the gym at that point. So on the way home from the gyms, on the way home from school, what I would do a lot of times, I got to find it. I had this old recorder, right, from now it's probably 15 years old. At the time, it was new. And technology wasn't the same, right, with phones and all that. And I would hold the recorder as I was driving home, and I would record articles that I had thought up in my head. I would talk to them into the mic. And then I would upload that to the computer, and I would have it sent to somebody to transcribe. And that was how I did a lot of my articles. In fact, that's how I did a few of my books, you know, on the road, just talking into a microphone. So you got to do what you got to do, guys, right? Would it be nice to be sitting in a nice, beautiful studio recording this, having you know, all these fancy things? That would be pretty cool, but that's not the case. This is pretty cool what I'm doing right now. And I get to live the life that I want to live on my terms. So let's dive into what I want to talk about today. So today, I'll be making a video later. Today's day 8 of my 10-day fast from food. You know, I just had jiu-jitsu, so I'm just about there, guys. Energy has been off the charts, believe it or not. Jiu-jitsu was a little rough physically today, but, I mean, popping up out of bed in the morning, that's the way you're supposed to wake up. And, you know, just really energized and focused. But I had some questions people had sent me, and they all kind of tie together. But the main thing I want to talk about is weight loss is not about calories. Somebody sent me an article about this again yesterday, this expert. Oh, you got to be in a caloric deficit. Only if the caloric deficit changes favorably your internal biochemical and hormonal environment. That is the only way your body will change and you'll drop weight. Okay? But when you factor in insulin and whatnot, and when people do these crash diets to be in a deficit, it doesn't work. Show me somebody that's worked long-term for. Look at The Biggest Loser. The Biggest Loser has never had a reunion show because one person, I think, out of all the years, has kept the weight off. Because it does not work. So all these fake fitness experts that keep spouting, you got to be in a deficit, you got to be in a deficit, blah, blah, blah. throw it out the window. They don't know what they're talking about. They're following mainstream science, and if you think mainstream science when it comes to health and fitness is the real deal, you're sadly mistaken, because look at the state of health of people. Even people that try to be healthy, most of them are not healthy. So you got to start, and this goes to everything I believe with, always examine the opposite and go down that path and learn what you got to do down that path. So on the flip side, if you want to gain muscle, guess what? It is about the internal biochemical and hormonal environment, and you largely do that through what you are eating and how often you are eating. Okay, and then you got to take in factors like sleep and stress. Now, if you don't believe me, you could give me somebody, let's say I see my brother Precious watching. Let's say Precious is 200 pounds, and he decides, hey, Kyle, I want to do a bodybuilding show, and I want to go on growth hormone, and I want to go on this steroid, that steroid. I wouldn't even have to touch his calories. He could keep training, keep eating the same way. As soon as he goes on all this anabolic, right, because it's affecting the internal biochemical and hormonal environment, his body's going to dramatically change. But we didn't change anything with the calories. Protein synthesis increased because of the hormones we're giving him. He got leaner, blah, blah, blah. So people have to start thinking of it. That works for weight gain and weight loss. Now, this guy in this article that was sent to me was saying 1 meal a day is not good. It's going to mess up your metabolism. No research behind that. The research shows that when you do 1 meal a day or you do 48, you throw them in, metabolism actually goes up 5 to 14%. So see you later. That's phony baloney with that guy saying that. I addressed the calories in, calorie out. Now, when you're trying to drop weight, I get this question a lot too, and you get your body comp. A lot of people don't do that, but my main thing with weight loss clients, don't worry about your body composition. Just keep driving the weight down. Get the weight to where you want it to be, and then it will change over time as we continue to train and whatnot. Remember, training is not to lose weight. It is not the way you lose weight through training. That's to affect the blood flow. It's more for your brain. You get certain growth factors that can only cross the blood-brain barrier through physical movement. And you can build muscle, right? And you got two systems. You got the blood system and the lymph system. Nobody talks about the lymph system. I've been studying a lot of this. Part of the reason I'm doing the cleanse, because that's the next thing I want to bring out to people and to really help people with their health, especially as we come into this next fall and winter season where cold and flus are rampant and stuff like COVID. Okay, so weight loss, just focus on driving the weight down. Now, transmutation, I talked about my energy. You can transmute energy. And funny enough, when I was down in Florida, I know I'm going rambling today, but I'm a little passionate about some of this stuff. When I was down in Florida with Devin for our 10-year anniversary, went out for a run. It was hot as blazes this one morning. Went out for a run, probably too late. It was like 9:30 or 10 o'clock in the morning. I was wiped. I'm coming back, and boom, inspiration struck, because I was trying to think of what is the next thing I really want to focus on with fasting. I've touched on so much of it, the physiological benefits, and there's not too much more, but I said, I know when I do it, my energy goes through the roof. Again, showing you energy doesn't come from calories, guys. There's physical, mechanical energy. Yes, your body needs to turn that into ATP for muscular contraction and whatnot. Let's not get into that science, but there is this energy, this dynamic energy that you can probably see in this video that I'm doing. Again, I haven't eaten food in 8 days. Does my energy seem low? Probably not. It's dynamic energy. So I said, okay, there's a way, and I've seen nobody explain it, but I know it's out there if I look at Eastern philosophies and I start studying stuff like detoxification, that fasting and the way you eat and what you eat can dramatically increase your energy. And that's a huge benefit. And it's something that's been reported to me numerous times from people that do my Panda program, which, by the way, the next one starts October 4th. The ad should be going out today on Facebook. And if you're on the Kyle Newell email list, you'll be seeing that. If you're on the Newell Strength email list, you will be seeing that. So the transmutation of energy. So right now, right, I'm not putting any energy into food. Sometimes the thought pops up, right, and that shows you food is a drug, because I've been physically, I'm not, the hunger is a non-issue for me, okay? It's a non-issue. Stuff I've done in the past. I've been through severe hunger when I've started myself with bodybuilding shows, and all the fasting I've done, that initial period. Once your body changes over, like I've told people, there's no hunger pangs or anything with what I'm doing. But the energy, right, has now taken, I'm transmuting whatever energy I would focus on food or my meal or digestion, and it's been used. It's transmuting into something else, which is my focus. I've been up at about 5:30 the past 2 mornings writing articles. I haven't done that in years. Usually I write them mid-morning, but I said, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm on fire. And I can tell you, if you read the article today, there's an energy coming out of it, right? And people can feel that energy when it comes out of it, when it's coming from a dynamic place. What else do I have to go over here? Okay, so we talked about that. That is the main thing I want to touch on. I don't even know how long I've been going because I don't have my computer clock here. But realize, guys, that when you eat things, and I'll be doing a lot more about this, right? Because now I'm diving into it more. When you eat animal flesh, when you eat a lot of protein, animal protein is dead flesh. It's very hard for your body to break down. Energy is actually going to be lower. Now, when and it could energize the body, but it acts as a stimulant because of the adrenaline and cortisol that's released into the animal meat when the animal is killed. I am not somebody that's out there with this Green New Deal stuff, anything like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about specific health reasons of what you should be eating. But you got to realize when you predominantly fall on a North American diet and everything's protein, protein, protein. Again, look at the state of health of people. I feel better than I have in a decade. And I eat very little animal protein. I'm going to be eating less now, right? Because what's been exposed to me doing this 10-day cleanse. It's all about the micronutrients you're getting from the food and how are they available, how are they interacting. That is a key thing. How are they interacting when we are consuming them, right? And you want to eat foods that are alive. A lot of fruits, a lot of vegetables. That should be the bulk of your diet. It should be fruits and vegetables. Fruit first. And funny enough, I've been saying that for the past a couple years. There you go, Bill. About fruit before eating at the Panda. And now with the research and the experimentation I'm doing on myself, it's further validated that. So I'm really excited to bring that with Panda 2.0. That'll be in the book with the energy, dynamic energy that's released from fasting and really eating food that has different energies. One of the other cool things I've been looking at, food has an actual energy you can measure, food on the table, right? And I don't have my book in front of me, but just like with Dr. David Hawkins, who I've referenced a lot in the past, there's different vibrational energies of everything. People, right, like Jesus Christ vibrated at a level of 1,000. And Jesus Christ is Jesus Christ. You're not going to meet anybody that vibrates at a level of 1,000. Gandhi was like level 500. That's rare air. You're not going to meet very, very few people on the face of the earth are 500, 600. 300 is a special being. 200 is like is positive. You start getting down to 175, 180 on this vibrational scale. You know that's the state of the world. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of pride and all this stuff. So anyway, there's a different scale that measures energy of food, and with fruits, especially if it's organic and it's raw, and the veggies are right below that, scores much higher on the energetic scales that could provide to your body than opposed to animal meats. So again, if you listen to the fake fitness experts, what are they going to tell you to do? Eat a lot of protein, eat some grains. Fruit's bad for you. Don't eat fruit. Don't eat carbs. It's the devil. All this stuff that is complete opposite. And all these people continue to spout that it's cut your calories, work out more. I talk about this every time I do a Panda challenge. There's one of the lessons I go over. And I did a video about this a while ago. Weight loss is not simultaneous. The simultaneous model is broken, and all these health experts better start getting that right because they're leading people down the wrong path of health. Weight loss is sequential. It's not burn this, cut this, and then you lose. It's sequential. You got to change the internal hormonal environment of your body. And then once you do that, right, and the analogy I always use that Dr. Jason Fung taught me was you got the fridge upstairs, has a lot of food in it, right? That represents your body. Now, you got the freezers in the basement. That represents your body fat. That's what you want to get to, right, if you're trying to get leaner and you want to change your body. But how do you get down there? You don't have any reason to go down there and get that food if the fridge upstairs is full. So let's start empty out that fridge, right? And we do that by just eating one big meal a day, primarily. And you got to think, every time you open that fridge, this is something I added to that analogy, that light bulb goes off. Every time the light bulb goes off, that represents an insulin spike. Insulin is one of the master hormones. It's a storage hormone. When insulin's raised, I don't care what deficit you're in, you cannot lose weight. You will not become leaner. You could eat 800 calories a day after that initial drop. If you're eating four 200-calorie meals a day, you ain't going to drop. And as a matter of fact, I haven't really dropped much weight doing this cleanse because even though these drinks I'm doing are so minuscule in calories, it still does spike insulin. I'm doing that 4 to 6 times a day. Further proves my point. I'm in a huge caloric deficit. Doesn't make any difference. So just think about that. Hopefully you guys like this episode. This is on the road show, so I'll probably be doing this because I come here right from jiu-jitsu to Braxton School, and I wait here, do work, and I read, and our schedules are shifting because the kids are back in school. So I'll probably be doing the road show, but hopefully you like that. Hit the thumbs up. If there's anything you want me to cover in any of the podcasts or videos, please just let me know, and I will be glad to dive into it. If I don't know, I'll start researching it. And you can go over. I won't tell you about KyleNewell.com yet because I still got to get the audio up there of a cool free thing I recorded for you guys. You all have a good day. If this helped you, hit the thumbs up and maybe hit the share button if you so please. Thanks, Sandy. I'll catch you guys later. You wrote for today's episode. I appreciate you and your time truly. I'm humbled and honored if you made it to the end of this episode. Don't forget, you can go to KyleNewell.com for your free ebook written by yours truly on getting started with fasting, infused with 5 mind map principles never before seen. This is something I have not given out to anybody else that'll help you see the light when it comes to your fasting journey and creating better health, both physically and internally. Remember, it's all about the mind, body, and spirit. Until next week, peace.